I also didn't know how to get the generator working at first. And I remember I was really struggling. And I was like, Lord, what do I do? And like, I'm looking at the manual and it's not working. And then I remember I was like, well, let me go get some gas. And so I went to this first gas station, and the place didn't have electricity, so they couldn't get the gas pumps to work. But I went up to but I didn't know where to find gas. I didn't know where to find gas, okay? So I went up there and I assumed they had gas, but no, actually they're just selling like cigarettes and things through the window. You can't buy gas. A guy drove up right while I was up there trying to asking him about the gas, and he was like, well, this one doesn't have gas, but one down the street does. So I was like, thank you. I quickly got into the car and I went to that gas station, and I ended up in line behind a man with a generator. And he told me what to do. And I went home and I got it working. That's not a coincidence. I'll tell you more. While we're here searching for gas, or we're here searching for gas, I remember, like, this is days later, we needed gas. Oh my God, I had to put so much gas in this generator. Oh my goodness. Like, I was making trips twice a day, 3 times a day. And it was sometimes really difficult to find gas. And there was once when I was driving, and I was like, I'm gonna go to this place to get some gas. I'm talking to the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna go to this place to get some gas. And he was like, you're not gonna get gas tonight if you're gonna go to that place. And I said, but it's convenient and it's easy for me. I'm struggling, Lord. And he was like, you're not gonna get gas if you go to that place. And so there was a point when I was driving and I could keep straight. Oh my God, I need help. Because if I hear the Holy Spirit, you're supposed to listen. But I was just, I'm human. And no, it's not an excuse that I'm human. I have issues. Okay, I have issues. I was at the light. I could turn left and I can turn left and Holy Spirit was telling me, you need to go left. Or I can keep straight and go to the place where I always go, and they've always had gas before. It's a big place. And I was just like, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm going through a confusing time. Maybe the enemy's talking to me. I don't know. I just need help, because this is the thing. I left the house and the generator was still going. And so I needed to get this as soon as possible. Okay, because I left the house and the generator was still going. Okay, and I didn't want it to go off while I was searching for gas. And I felt like I only but then I remember in my heart I said, but Lord, you've delivered me so many times, I'm pretty sure you'll keep it on for me, right? I know you will do that. But anyway, instead of turning left, I kept straight like an idiot. And oh my goodness, I went to this gas station and I'm not lying when I say it may have been like 50 people. Like, it was so many people. It was so many people. And it looked dangerous because they were all like zigzag trying to get into different lines. They were skipping people. It just seemed like a dangerous situation. And I looked at that and I was like, he was right. It was really the Lord. And I said, okay, Lord, obviously this isn't going to work. And then, I'm so crazy. I just crazy. Hello, you hear the Holy Spirit, you're not listening. I wasn't listening. And so, and then I was stupid enough to go to another gas station that was near this one. Nothing. That's not where he told me to go. So I said, okay, let's backtrack. Let me go where you told me to go. Because I didn't know. Because when he's telling me to go left, I don't know what he's like, do you understand when you don't know the gas station he's talking to you about, you need to get gas within the hour, and he just says, go left. I'm like, where? So I went ahead and I followed his directions. And while I was doing it, I remember I looked to the side. I got to the area where I felt like he told me to go. I looked to the side. I'm on a different street now. I looked to the side, and this gas station, they don't have any electricity. And then right when I was about to pass, there was another one that was across the street, and there were people in line, but it was really, really short. And I quickly I turned that car quickly literally, I was at the driveway. I was about to pass it up. I went into the driveway, and literally, I only had one person in front of me. And I got my gas, and I went home, and I filled up my generator, and we had gas, and we had the fans. Like, we had the fans and one AC going. And we got through that night. That's a miracle. I heard the Holy Spirit tell me what street to go on. That's what I'm trying to say when I say, how do you not know that there's like $100,000 hidden in your in your restroom, in your church? How do you not know that the place is about to be foreclosed on? Do you understand like how I know that I sound like I'm coming across really judgmental, but do you understand that the Holy Spirit is a sign of your salvation? Listen, I'm not trying to say that these people aren't saved, but I'm trying to say that something is wrong. Because I'm I'm this regular person that is hated by my church, right? No, it's not my church, it's the leaders, because I talk a lot and I come against what they've been doing. And so I'm not liked, right? But they can't hear the Holy Spirit about basic things in their life. And this is the thing, when major things happen, I mean, they're crazy, random, crazy, boom. I'm telling you, God is giving you a sign. Stop what you are doing now. There are other things in your life that you are making decisions about, and if you're not careful, you're going to miss me. And so he lets this thing happen to kind of get your attention. And you know what? Let me tell you something. It is the fault of the people in the congregation that when God embarrasses your pastor like that, because your pastor has no clue what's going on. The pastor, how can you lead a church? You can't even lead your own family. You go to the store, and let me tell you something. I think I talked about this before. Like I love this time because it was so cute to me and so amazing. I remember like many years ago, I was like in the store and I was buying like these cookies, and as soon as I touched the cookies and I put them in the cart, Holy Spirit said, not those cookies. He said, not those cookies. And I was like, no. And I remember I picked them up and I looked and they were expired. So he saved me possibly getting sick and food poisoning, and he also saved me from having to make an extra trip to the grocery store to take them back. I'm hearing God talk to me about cookies. You can't hear God talk to you about your church is about to be foreclosed on. That is embarrassing. And you know, this is the thing about it. What is the difference between these pastors and like the other religions? Because like we are supposed to be different as Christians. And this is what I was saying. This is what I meant when I said that this is actually not normal. Because what is the difference between you and like these other belief systems, and you don't have any connection with God? You don't hear him. You can't hear him about the basic things. For me personally, if I didn't have like the cool stuff happening to me on a daily basis with the Lord, I probably would be somewhere else. There has to be a sign of God in my life. Even Jesus, he walked the earth. He didn't just preach about being saved and doing right. He actually had signs and wonders following him. The people actually paid attention because of the signs and wonders. But this is the thing about it. These congregations, these churches, la la land. La 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 la. La la land. Because when God embarrasses your pastor like that and you're crazy enough to stay, whatever happens is your fault. Like, you should know that if your pastors can't hear about these types of things, and they're this major, they're this huge, and they can't hear, do you really think that they can lead you? Like, are you serious? They can't hear God. They cannot hear him. Like, you're going to stay in that place? That was a sign right there. Get out. But they stayed because we want to be pew warmers and we don't want to be rude. We want to be pew warmers. We don't want to be rude. And so they stay, and it's really sad. You know what? I'm thinking about something. There is a place that I'm not going to say the name, but people who have visited this place probably know. It's a church. This place has statues, at least one statue of two of the leaders in the church. A statue. in the form of the leaders. Also in this church, they have these tall pillars in the church, and they have these images of the pastors and leaders, worship leaders, on these pillars. The pillars are like 50 feet high. And the faces of the pastors have to be like 10 feet. And they're huge and big. And the pastors and the worship leaders, they're huge and big. This is all over the church. And I was just like, who approved that? I can't even comprehend being a pastor. Let's say I was a minister. I'm a pastor. I can't comprehend someone coming to me. I got this really amazing idea. We're going to put your face on a pillar that's 50 feet in the air, and your face is going to be 10 feet tall. And everybody that's going to come here, they're going to see you, and they're going to see your family, and they're going to see the worship leaders. Isn't that a great idea? Yeah, go for it. I want them to see my huge face, 10 feet tall. Like, that's excellent. That's the perfect idea. I can't believe I didn't think about that first. I can't comprehend being that pastor. Like, who approves that? Who approves of a church having images of the leaders and the worship leaders 50 feet high, 10 feet tall? I mean, these faces are huge. Huge. I mean, a whole human body could fit in the height and the width of this thing. This is insane. And I'm trying to figure out, you think you're listening to the Holy Spirit? I can't comprehend. Like, who can approve of something like that? What type of leader would say, that's a good idea for you to put my face, on a pillar in the church, and it's like 10 feet tall, my face and my body is like 10 feet. It's huge up here. My face is 10 feet tall in this place. And everyone who's going to come every Sunday and Saturday, whenever we have service, is going to see my face. And they're going to see my family's face. And we're huge. I mean, that doesn't make sense. People, if they're going to be eating in that area, they're going to look up, oh, look. That. And the crazy thing about it is that there has to be a spirit of strong delusion. There has to be a spirit of strong delusion that would be on the people that would go week after week, Saturday, Sunday after Sunday, Thursday night, whatever you want to call it. And they're going and they're doing this for years. And you got a statue of two of the leaders in the church. And then as you continue, you have these humongous pillars that are 50 feet high, and they have these gigantic faces of these leaders. You would have to have a spirit of delusion on you to not say that maybe these people are operating in pride, because you would have to be operating in pride to think that was normal. How is it normal for you to approve of your face being blown up 10 feet big, and that's height. I'm not even talking about width. And these people want to see you every day, and you said that was the perfect idea? Why not put scriptures up there? Why not put, some type of mountains or something that glorifies God and the nature that he's made? Why not put some scriptures? Why not do something like that? Why do we have to see your face? I'm telling you that you have to have a spirit of strong delusion if you have that type of stuff going on in your church, or you have a situation where your church is about to be foreclosed on and you stay because and you're like, well, it's normal, pastor's just human. We have the Holy Spirit indwelling in us. You find $100,000 or more in the church restroom, and you're going to stay? That's on you. That's on you. Whatever happens, and whatever delusion comes to you is your fault, because God gave you a sign that things were not right and you stayed. So they're not going to lead you to heaven. They're going to lead you down under, because I can't comprehend that. I can't comprehend it. That you think that's normal. And, oh my God, I feel bad about it. But anyway, I guess I'm told my stories, and I'm just saying that this is just so embarrassing. I can't even imagine, people that don't even believe in the Lord hearing these stories about the church being foreclosed on, and then they have an image of the pastor. He looks completely clueless. You find $100,000 in the church or more in the restroom, and the pastors are clueless. And then, God forbid, they hear about their statues of these people in the church, and there are these pillars that are 50 feet tall, and the The faces are what? 10 feet high, 15 feet wide. And that's normal. That's what happens when you go with the motions. That's what happens when you go with the motions. That's what happens. I'm going to end this recording.